Hey guys! Welcome to Turkish series stars. All the details are in our video. Don't forget to subscribe to Turkish series stars and share this video before we dive in. Thank you so much. A striking claim has taken center stage today, and it's all anyone can talk about. Words said by Gökberk Yıldırım's mother, touching on her son and actress Cemre, have rippled through the industry and set social media ablaze. For years, Gökberk has chosen a quiet path, guarding his private life from curious eyes. Now, not because of a scandal, but because of the warmth pouring from his family, he's back under the brightest light. According to whispers from a heartfelt gathering among close friends, Gökberk's mother opened up in rare, candid detail. In that soul-bearing moment, she reportedly said that Cemre is the reason behind the calm, steady joy in her son's life these days. The claim doesn't stop there. She is said to have praised the harmony they've found, sharing words that made everyone lean in. Gökberk has finally discovered true love. It's the first time in a very long while that I've seen him this at peace. That one sentence reignited a conversation that had been smoldering online for weeks. Would they make a great pair, and could we see them together, on screen, or perhaps much closer than that? While fans busy themselves with the possibility of a reunion on a new set, the real buzz is unfolding behind velvet ropes. The rumor mill says the two have crossed paths at a handful of private gatherings in recent months, and those meetings didn't end with polite hellos. The story goes that Gökberk and Cemre found themselves deep in conversation, sharing personal thoughts in corners where cameras couldn't reach. People in Cemre's circle say she's poured her energy into work lately, but she never overlooks friendships that nourish her spirit. How she'll respond to the swirl around Gökberk remains the mystery everyone's waiting to solve. For now, Gökberk's team is tight-lipped, and that silence is feeding the intrigue. Many believe the mother's unwavering tone will push these whispers into full-fledged headlines, no matter what the actors say, or don't say, next. So here's the question echoing everywhere. Is this the beginning of a new romance, or simply two graceful people holding a solid bond? What makes the claim even more startling is the family behind it. Gökberk's loved ones have always chosen the shadows over the spotlight. For his mother to speak at all about his heart is rare, to speak glowingly is monumental. Those close to the household say her openness comes from watching her son settle into a beautifully balanced phase, his career steadying, his choices quieter, his days gentler. And the soothing charge, they say, comes from Cemre's presence. Her bright energy, grounded by a careful sense of self, has apparently given him the stillness he's been seeking. Backstage chatter points to a pattern, their paths crossing at exclusive dinners and charity nights, their interactions long, unforced, real. People who saw them didn't see a game, they saw two people discovering they liked how the other listened. Mutual friends, the kind who don't speak unless they mean it, are convinced the two could fit in a way that feels easy. Gökberk's preference for quiet living, paired with Cemre's new dedication to peace of mind, might be why they're orbiting each other so closely. It's a gravity you can't fake. If you've followed Cemre these past months, you know she's been drawing a firmer line around what's hers. She has become fiercely protective of her personal boundaries and of the private space that keeps her centered. It's no surprise she hasn't chimed in, neither to dismiss nor confirm. Those who know her describe an unwavering respect for Gökberk, an appreciation for his professionalism, and the calm he brings into a room. Whether she addresses the mother's remarks remains to be seen. She tends to avoid commentary on what unfolds off-set, but when sincere words are offered about her, she responds with grace, not fire. For his part, Gökberk is reportedly moving with gentle caution. He doesn't want a story about his private life to overshadow his work or become a magnet for conflict. He's keeping his head down, making no statements, leaving the speculation to swirl without his input. Still, his family's open support has clearly captured the public's imagination. If either party breaks the silence, many expect a turning point, especially because this isn't the first time these two names have drifted into the same sentence. Meanwhile, social media hums, day and night. Comments collect beneath old interviews and new photo dumps, fans weighing their chemistry, their careers, their potential. Some beg to see them in a shared project, curious about what sparks might translate to screen. Others cross their fingers that the rumors are real, that this time life and art mirror one another. And then there are those who prefer caution, who believe friendship is its own delicate treasure, worth protecting from headlines. Regardless of which camp you're in, one thing is undeniable: the mother's strong, affirming voice has pushed this story into the heart of the tabloids and into the timelines of millions. Eyes are locked on Gökberk Yildirim and Cemre Arda now, and the whispers aren't slowing. If anything, they're sharpening, waiting for the smallest clue. Adding to the storm is the silence on their own platforms. No grand declarations, no denials, no coy captions. Fans think they've spotted them at some of the same events lately, a few frames apart, a few minutes apart, almost but not quite together. And then there are the hints people swear by. A similar color palette in their outfits, a view from a terrace that looks too identical to be coincidence, a song lyric posted on one page that appears, hours later, in a different form on the other. For the watchers and the dreamers, these are secret messages, proof that a thread ties them behind the scenes. What truly shook the conversation, though, were the words from the woman who knows Gökberk best. People who have long known the Yildirim family say his mother voiced not only pride in her son, but certainty. She believes he's found the right person, they say, and she said it with the conviction of a mother who's seen what comes and goes and knows what stays. For a man who has kept romance out of the spotlight, that sentiment stunned fans and fueled a second wave of speculation. The idea that his mother's faith could be the tipping point is now its own headline. Cemre's close friends insist that while she is laser-focused on her projects, she will always make room for connections that leave her feeling lifted, not drained. They say she's being deliberate about her steps with Gökberk, if there are steps to speak of at all. She prefers to dodge the noise, to keep distance from the press, to preserve whatever is fragile and meaningful without projecting it onto the world. And oddly enough, that silence has only made the story more compelling. As for Gökberk, he's never been a fixture of the gossip ecosystem. He vanishes between sets, reappears when a role demands it, and returns to quiet life once the lights go down. His refusal to pour gasoline on rumors has given the narrative room to expand on its own. This is how it often goes: nothing official, just a steady drip of sightings and suggestions, and behind them the feeling that two people have found a rhythm nobody else can hear. There are even murmurs, no photos, only whispers. That in private they're enjoying a calm, balanced companionship. They spend measured time together, friends say, and they are careful. Friendship first, without forcing a definition, is the idea that keeps resurfacing. When the story of a mother's remark meets a public hungry for a fairy tale, anything can catch fire. Think about the way this unfolded. A rare glimpse into a guarded family, a gentle nod toward a woman admired for her spirit, and a pair of professionals who seem to move through the world with the same respectful discretion. The timeline looks like this: months of quiet crossings, then a crackle of online curiosity, and finally a bright spark from someone who doesn't speak often but chose to speak now. The result is exactly what you're witnessing. Intense attention, fervent theories, and a wave of emotion that might not settle until the people at the center decide to share their truth. There's also the question of a new project. Fans are pulling for it, mapping out dream roles where their energies could collide in the best way. Imagine it: the introspective hero and the brilliant lead, both bringing understated depth to the same frame. Whether art imitates life or simply runs alongside it, the possibility of them working together adds oxygen to an already blazing conversation. For now, no official statements. None expected either. People around both camps are cautiously optimistic, not just about what the public wants, but about what brings peace to two complicated, high-pressure lives. Those who know the cadence say this is the pace that makes sense. And maybe that's the real story underneath the noise. Two people choosing stillness, choosing to make decisions away from a world that keeps asking for answers. Of course, that doesn't stop the decoding. fans are convinced they've seen a familiar pendant in different photos, a jacket that looks shared, a weekend spent on the same coast without a single frame together. A candlelit table here, a low-lit lobby there, music echoing between accounts with too much overlap to dismiss. Is it a romance, a deepening friendship, or both? The mother's faith suggests something tender and real, something that allowed her to say, without flinching, that her son has arrived at a peace she's longed to witness. The emotional core of this entire wave remains the same, a mother's relief that her child is content. That detail is what fans keep returning to, because it speaks to something universal beneath fame and rumor. Whether Gökberk and Cemre are building a romance or nurturing a profound friendship, the happiness described by those closest to them carries weight. It implies a season of balance. It implies that whatever is happening, it's good. So where does that leave us? In a holding pattern, yes, but one lined with hope. The reports say the mother has stayed consistent in private, expressing steady confidence and joy for her son's choice of company. That admission alone would be enough to set trends ablaze, but combined with the couple's shared poise and quiet alignment, it's no wonder the conversation refuses to fade. Meanwhile, Cemre's universe stays productive and focused, Gökberk stays measured and calm. When they're seen doing the work. When they aren't, the speculation writes its own script. If history is any clue, their silence will continue just long enough to make a future confirmation, or a gentle clarification feel like the start of a new chapter. And when that arrives, whether it's a shared project, a public appearance, or a simple acknowledgement, the media will pivot in unison. Until then, the narrative, built on careful sightings, kind words, and one remarkable comment from a protective mother, will hum along. This brings us to the end of our video. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to Turkish Series Stars and share it with friends who follow every heartbeat in this world. Until next time, we'll be watching, listening, and waiting along with you. Goodbye.